Hello everyone and welcome back to another one of my Mythic Mobs tutorials. Today we're going to be covering the drop item mechanic. Now, why are you asking me if we're going to cover this mechanic? Isn't it too easy? No, it's never too easy. Actually, this one's pretty easy. But realistically, there's a lot that you can do with this one, and that's what I want to go ahead and show you all today. So before we get started, as always, if you haven't already hopped on over into my Discord channel, link will be in the description below. I have a really amazing community both in there and on my YouTube. So, there's always people helping each other out, giving each other ideas. Really, really cool stuff. I definitely recommend being a part of it if you haven't already joined in. So please do. I love my supporters. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so what does the drop item mechanic do? Well, essentially, see this piece of grass right here? You take it, bam. Really, that's kind of about what it does, actually. But let's kind of show it in more practical terms. So what you're going to want to do is go into your Mythic mobs folder here. I already got one started. I called it the drop item mob. So that's what I am going to be using. Okay. And here I already have the mob set up. It's my basic zombie with no movement speed. I named him loot bags. There is one different thing I added though, which is modules threat table true. So if you need to go ahead and pause this video for a moment to copy all this down, please feel free to do so. If you are ready to move on, we're going to go ahead and keep moving forward. Okay, so how do we utilize the drop item mechanic? Well, it's pretty easy actually. So what we're going to do is we're literally going to type drop item, I for item, equals, we'll go ahead and do diamond for now, at trigger on death. Okay. So that's easy enough, right? It's just going to drop an item at a diamond specifically at our feet whenever we kill him. Let's go ahead and test this. MMM spawn loot bags. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and go into survival too, just so that way we can make sure everything works smoothly. This is going to be the biggest thing for a lot of people. I know I forget to mention to go into survival mode a lot, so it's very imperative that you do so. Okay, so let's give ourselves a weapon too. Netherite, nether brick, yep. Netherite, axe, one. Okay, I need a weapon. Alright, so if we kill him here, bam, you can see an diamond just kind of appeared out of thin air right at where I was. Pretty cool, right? So that's easy enough. Now, what if I want to give multiple items? Well, the cool part is that's actually how we're gonna, sorry, let me rephrase this. That's where we are going to use loot tables, or drop tables rather, sorry. So if you go into Mythic Mobs, drop tables, everyone will have one here by default called example drop tables. We're going to go ahead and go into it, and we're not going to change anything, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this second one here, Skeleton King item drops. You can copy the first one if you choose to. I'm only worried about the items, so we're just going to copy the second one. And instead of diamond, we're actually going to paste this here. I equals Skeleton King item drops at trigger on death. Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, that's because we will literally get this entire drop table in all of its conditions. So there's a minimum of 1 item, a maximum of 2 items, and it could be literally any of these. If you're not familiar with drop tables, I do have a getting started tutorial that covers that. I definitely recommend going ahead and checking that out. But this is pretty much what it's going to pull from. So now let's go ahead and reload again. We're going to spawn in loot bags. And we're going to kill him. I might have forgotten. Actually, I think that was part of it. Oh, yeah, okay. So Diamond 1 to 12 has an 80% chance of dropping. I guess I probably shouldn't have started with Diamond as my main item, but... Okay, so see, that time I got golden nuggets. More golden nuggets. More golden nuggets. Either way, you saw at the beginning how I got diamonds the first time, so there's a good chance of that happening. I'll go ahead and swap this to 2 as well. So we'll reload. That time I just got a lot of diamonds. There we go, so diamonds and golden nuggets. Alright, I'm not going to keep boring you guys with this. You kind of get the gist of it. So I'm going to go and clear my inventory here. And now let's move on to some more exciting uses of this mechanic. So as you can see, we have this going on whenever I kill him. What happens if we do something like this? Entities and radius r equals 20. Okay, reload. And now I have a mob called Damage Dummy that you've seen me use in several tutorials. I'm going to go ahead and spawn that one in several times, rather. My screen is going to get spammed with boss bars. That is of my own doing. So, okay, so whenever we kill this one, this is our loot bags guy. All of us, me included, and my 4 dummies here are all going to get loot. Check this out, ready? Bam! Look at all this loot that just dropped everywhere per individual entity. Isn't that crazy? Look, I even got a sweet new sword out of it, too. A couple new swords. Heck yeah. So, it's pretty cool, as you can see, but, like, say this jerk over here didn't participate in the fight. You know, he just kind of showed up and somehow he's getting loot too, and we don't want that? Why would he get loot? Well, there's an easy way to fix that. Let me make it daytime. I swear I had daylight cycle turned off. Okay, so we're actually going to change this to at threat table on death, and we're going to add one quick little thing here too. So we're going to do threat amount equals 100 at entities and radius r equals we'll just do 20 on interact. Okay, so you're going to see that this is going to be very similar to what we were just using, entities and radius, but it's going to be a little bit different as well. So if I right click him, now all of us are going to be on the threat table. I kill him. Bam, as you can see, everybody got loot again. Well, that's because now everybody is on the loot table. However, if I'm going to spawn him right here this time. Okay? And I'm going to significantly lower this radius. We're going to lower it to like 5. You know what? Actually, we're going to lower it even further to 3. We're going to reload. We're going to right click him. And say us 3, me, the dummy, and that dummy all participated in the fight, and those 2 didn't. Well, now if you kill him, I guess he didn't participate in the fight either. But you'll see how only me and this dummy got loot out of it, right? So that's a pretty helpful way to do it, but we can take it one step further. So what I am going to do is we can do limit equals 2, sort equals random. And what this is going to do, we're actually going to switch this back to 30. What this is going to do is, say you have multiple people around. Like there's 5 people, but you only want the loot to be split between maybe 2, maybe 3 individuals. Really, that changes based on whatever you set your limit number to. Say you want that to be the case. Okay, so if we reload again, let's spawn him in. We're going to right-click him so he applies the threat to all of us. We're going to kill him. And 2 of us are not going to get any loot. Looks like I was one of the ones that didn't get any loot. And so was he, and so was he. I have limit set to 3. I might have just not done some... Oh, I have it set to 2. Okay. So the lucky winners were that dummy and this dummy. The rest of us did not get any loot whatsoever. Okay? Say you have some kind of piñata or some really fun server event, and you want it to be, you know, you want a random individual to get loot. You don't want everybody on the threat table to get loot, just one individual person. Well, what we can do is we can scrap this modifier here. We're gonna change the targeter here to random threat target. Okay? And that's essentially going to do the same thing that we just had set up, but this is going to be a lot more efficient because it's not trying to pull as much information. It's literally just going to pick one and go with it. So we're going to right-click him. Looks like he's targeting that guy, but really the loot could be anybody's game. And who got the loot? He got the loot. Okay. Let's spawn him in. Let's spawn in another dummy or loot bags for another test. We're going to right-click him. Okay. Oh, man, what a lucky guy. All right, one more time. Let's see if he can go 3 for 3. Nope, who got it this time? He did. So as you can see, it's going to be entirely random this way, and it's a really cool way to just kind of determine, who's going to get the loot or who won't get the loot. And what's really important about using random threat target or even threat table, as opposed to just using like at players in radius. Players in radius guarantees everybody is going to get it no matter what amount of effort they might have put into a fight. As long as they're literally within a radius, they're going to get loot. However, if you set it to at threat table, this means only participants who damaged your mob are going to get any kind of loot. So I think that's a very important one to keep in mind, and that's also why I love using the threat table module. It helps keep things balanced and more controlled, in my opinion. Like I said, it kind of discriminates people jumping in and literally just being there and getting free stuff out of it. They actually have to put in effort. So I think this is probably one of my favorite mixes of mechanics and targeters, to be honest. Aside from Aura. Aura will always be my baby. So anyway, that's all I really have for you today. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial, and that it might have inspired you. As you can see, there's a lot of variation that you can do with this mechanic, so it's pretty cool, pretty versatile, and I think it's a very wonderful one to have for any server occasion. So if this video did inspire you, or you appreciated it in any depth, please make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more future content. You'll always be alerted of new stuff that's dropping, so there'll be new things to learn, new things to be inspired by. And, well, I'm going to quit rambling. Thank you all so much for watching, and I can't wait to see what you come up with in the future.